Hello, everybody. Dale Dickerson, Coach Jason Russell. Coach, it is an awesome win, and especially to be able to send our seniors out with a win in their final game of their career.
Yeah, talk about resilience by our kids. I mean, we started out really strong. We talked about it, off air before we got on here. We literally, in this season, we set the school rushing record, we set the school passing record, and then we just kind of went through a difficult time after we had some key injuries and really struggled through the middle part of the season, but the kids really didn't give up. I think we scored more points on South Panola than anyone else last week, and then we came in this week, and again, the kids played really, really hard and come out with the victory, to finish the season. So proud of them, proud of the resilience of our team.
Well, it was good to see, and it was especially satisfying to see when the game was over. Our kids got to go celebrate with the band like they do after wins, and I know it just had to be a great feeling for those seniors.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, usually when you get done with the game, last game of the season, you see a bunch of seniors, they're crying, they're upset and everything. And our kids were, they were upset it was their last game, but they were also excited about the way that they played, and they excited about the game and how things turned out. So excited for them to finish up their career, their high school career that way.
And we had the number one recruit in the state of Mississippi playing against us, and our tackles did a great job against him.
Absolutely. Michael Pride, Joshua Matthews have just really played well all season long. Our two tackles have, and he was matched up on those guys most of the night, and didn't get a whole lot of action. Didn't make a whole lot of plays there. Matched up against our two tackles. They started kind of roaming him in the backfield and shooting gaps. After they were kind of stuck with that. He got a little bit of, getting matched up with the running back or getting matched up on a guard. He got a little bit of pressure there, but, for the most part, I thought we really handled him well.
Our offensive line did a great job on pass protection, too, because we threw the ball a lot, and Raheem did some rollouts, but when he stood in the pocket, he had a clean pocket a lot of time to throw the football.
What did we throw that? We threw it 42 times, and we ran it. What did we run? Ran it 28 times, and so of those 28 times, probably about 5 or 6 of those were called passes where the guys were pass protecting, and things broke down, and Raheem had to take off and run. So that's a whole lot of times to drop back. What's tough about that as a former offensive lineman is when they know what's coming, they're able to go pin their ears back and take off and really attack on the pass, rush. So proud of our guys. Great job by them. I mean, that's a difficult situation. Really good player on the other side, and they've got several good players on defense. And I thought our kids really handled that well.
Yeah, that Hobson kid has been pretty strong for them all season, too, running the ball some. So
that's right.
We held him down except for one touchdown. He didn't do anything either.
Well, look at our defense, the other night. We held them to 116 total yards of offense, and I believe that they had 24 yards of offense in the second half. So hats off to our defense. They played, I think, their best game of the entire season right there at the end. They gave up only 6 points on the night. It was just kind of a busted play. We missed a tackle right down the middle, and they were able to get to the end zone that one time. And other than that, they didn't really have much going on.
Well, we had some outstanding individual performances. Britton Traylor again, 2 touchdown passes, an interception. I'm playing both sides of the ball.
What a way for that kid to finish out his high school career. We have 109 yards. 2 touchdowns and an interception. That's a monster game right there. Caught a fade, caught a big time pass on the trick play. I thought Raheem played one of his better games. And Raheem ended up with going on the night. He was 25 for 40 with 3 touchdowns and 3 for 272 yards. So he had a monster game throwing the ball as well.
He did. We just an overall good performance by our conquistadors the other night. We've got some highlights, and we got another full slate of highlights to watch from this week's game. So let's tune in and see some of these. This was early in the game.
Yeah, right here. Deuce, I thought, had his best game of the season. Had his first touchdown of the season. 68 yards receiving on the night, and he played really well. He catching that slant pattern right there, and he caught several of those. And I think there's another highlight.
Yeah, there is, and he's a big target. He's 6'4", so he's a big target. And I'm going to tell you, Raheem did a good job then catching the ball on the ground, keeping his poise, and throwing the ball.
That's right. I mean, sometimes that happens. I still say, probably the most difficult position in football is to play as quarterback, but the second most difficult position in football to play is center, because you have to snap a ball, block a guy with your other hand, and everything's got to work perfect every time. And at the center position, nobody knows you unless something goes wrong. So Justin Griffin has done a great job for us at center all year long. Gets a little bit of a low snap there. Raheem was able to handle it and did a great job getting it to the receiver.
Okay. All right, let's see. This next one is Lance pulling the ball down, getting a big scramble, picking up a first down.
Yeah, you can see us in our stack formation right here. They were playing a 4-3 defense, and they're playing a true 4-3 where those two outside linebackers were trying to halfway midpoint between the apex between the tackle and the second receiver. Well, when you stack them, it widens those guys out just a little bit more, and so it kind of gives us some running lanes. We had a game that we were playing with them as far as where those outside backers were. We had a run pass option pre-snap, and Vance did a great job running the ball that time, and he made good decisions all night as far as do we need to throw it out there. And you saw several times where we had the little quick screens to the edge. Well, we may only gain 4 or 5 yards, but that's probably about a 95% completion pass for us. And then we're gaining 4 or 5 yards on first down. I'll take that any day of the week. And then, every once in a while we hit those for 7, 8 yards. And so you put their defense in a bind when you're able to attack sideline to sideline like that.
All right, the next one is a first trick play that actually worked. This was a beautiful play, and it executed perfectly.
Yeah, this is our reverse flea flicker pass. So we got handed off first, we reverse it, shovel it back here to the quarterback, and then there's the shot all the way down the field for a touchdown to Britton. And so our kids enjoy that stuff. We had several of them the other night. We threw a halfback pass. We threw that. We threw, we ran a regular reverse. I mean, we ran all kinds of stuff on the night. So we ran a reverse throw by the backup quarterback. Bobo was in the slot, so we ran that as well. The kids had some fun with that. Of course, you have an opportunity for a really explosive play when you do stuff like that.
Well, the kids, when they practice it all week, they can't wait to run it.
They can't wait.
I mean, they want to play it. They want to run it first play every time. They always want to run that trick play.
Well, we started out the game with the trick play. The very first play of the game, we ran a reverse. Unfortunately, we fumbled it, and but we really wanted to go in, and our mindset was, we don't want to leave anything to that we could have called or that we could have done, and so we kind of went ahead and emptied out the closet and just ran everything we had.
Yep. Okay. This next one is Deuce's first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, excited about this. Deuce right here. He's a junior. He's going to be back next year. Big, tall receiver, like you said earlier, going up and catching a fade ball for a touchdown. I saw the play before. We were stacked up. He came down and actually pressed on us a little bit, and it was obvious they were trying to take away that little spot pass out to the sideline, and I knew right then that we had a chance to go ahead and attack them over the top, and so we called that up the next play, and great catch, great throw. Everything was good. Protection was good, so great play for a touchdown.
All right, next one is Britton's second touchdown.
Yeah, Britton has been such a weapon for us. He ended up with, I think, right at 750 yards receiving this year, and just had a phenomenal senior year, phenomenal high school career. And I didn't think that guy could cover him one-on-one, and so we were in a situation when I was ready to take a shot, and I wanted to go ahead and get it down there. We haven't been running the football really well the last, since Kylan's injury, and so at this point I wanted to go over the top. I would rather do that than get it down to 5 yards to get in there, 1st and 5, where we're having to run the ball against a run team. I would rather go ahead and try to score from a little bit further out, and that's what we did there.
It was a beautiful pass. All right, this next one is another Britton highlight. He gets his interception here. He had just a monster game like we talked about.
Yeah, so we played him. Britton played all night long. Jerry played all night long. At this point in the season, it's time just to let those guys go and play as much as they can. And great job intercepting the ball right there. And we had him playing corner. He hasn't been playing corner. He's been playing safety when he comes in on defense, and kind of swapped that up. And they've been such a run-heavy team. We didn't want them just running the ball right at him all the time because we need him at receiver. And so we moved Taylor Williams in there. He did a fantastic job as a safety coming down and making tackles. And so that freed us up to put Britton out there at corner.
Okay. All right. The next one is another play to deduce.
Yeah, this right here is our double slant concept. And so you can see the 4-3 alignment of their defense, inside leverage by the outside linebacker at the top. And so you can see Bobo's going to run a slant right here to freeze him and take him. And it opens that window for the second slant out there. And that's where we're able to hit him. And, so I think that was a 12 to 15-yard gain on that play. And again, pretty easy throw and catch for us, and, a big-time play for us as well.
Okay. And this last one is scoop and score here. Jerry had actually recovered a fumble the last series for them.
Yep, here we go right here. The ball goes down. They fumble the ball. You can see the beanbag coming in. Jerry sees it sitting on the ground, picks it up, and just takes it on in to score. And I think everybody was confused, didn't know if he was down or what. And at that point, the best thing you can do is just go ahead and pick it up and make a play and make them make that decision later.
Well, that's not an easy thing to do, to pick the ball up and scoop it and start running. You see a lot of kids trying to scoop it and they fumble around and finally fall on it or something happens. But
it takes some athleticism to reach down, see that, and then reach down, grab it, and run full speed at the same time and get out of there. So most people either have to kind of stop and pick it up and then go, or they're going to fumble it around as they try to run with the ball. So good job by Jerry on that.
It was. Well, those are the highlights for this week. It just was, again, a great performance on both sides of the ball. Now we've got to say goodbye to these seniors. I mean, we got a good crop of seniors that we're going to be saying goodbye to that have had some tremendous performances over the years.
Yes, of course, we mentioned several of them. Earlier, Joshua Matthews in the offensive line had a monster game at tackle. A kid that came in, this is his first year to start, and I can't say enough about that kid. Came in as a sophomore with us and couldn't squat 135 pounds. He's a 500-pound squat kid. Ends up being a starter on our offensive line all year at left tackle. Just what a transformation he made of his body and his ability to bend and move. Of course, you got guys like Raheem, who's had just a great career and is playing in the North-South All-Star game. You've got Jerry Wall, who's played both sides of the ball for us both seasons, due to injury and stuff, but he's played a lot. Even before guys got hurt, he was always our next guy up to plug in there, kind of a difference maker at that running back spot as well as defense. Heck, on defense, he's played nose guard. He's played. I think this is the list of positions that Jerry's played over his high school career. He's played on offense. He's played H-back. He's played running back. He's played one snap at quarterback. He's played on defense. He's played nose guard, defensive end, linebacker, safety, and corner. He's played all of that.
That's a football player.
That's a football player.
That's his definition of a football player. You can play him anywhere.
Exactly. And then you got Britton. What a senior year Britton's had, and and like I said, right at 750 yards receiving, a bunch of touchdowns, and added 2 more to it this week, an interception. Just monster game. What about Ethan Bobo?
Yes.
Ethan Bobo is, played receiver for us. We moved him to H-back this year. He got in there and blocked, did a great job of that, coming out of the backfield with like naked routes, and tons of yardage that he had from that position. Then we have had to play him at quarterback for a couple games. and he only ended up the year throwing, I think, for 450 yards at quarterback and looking really, really good, looking like a guy that had been playing quarterback his whole life. And even though it was his first high school games at that. And so what a career that kid had. And I'll tell you what, you turn on his highlight film, it's if I'm a Mississippi JUCO guy, if I'm wherever, I'm calling Ethan Bobo, and I want him on my team because he can do so many things from H-back to receiver to quarterback. That guy's he's just an invaluable weapon. I mean, he can play anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can take a kid like him and plug him just about anywhere on offense or defense that you have a need and say, okay, you're my guy.
Yeah. And we had Jordan Dandridge came in this year as a starter at guard. He's another guy that's a senior that had a really good season. On defense, defensive line-wise, we had Tyler Wesley, 3-star defensive end, had a great season, had a big sack the other night. Ashton Shipp has played well for us. We've played him at defensive end at times. We played him this year a lot in the 4-eye, and with a change of defense. Jamel Harper, he had a great senior year as well. Taylor Williams, I mentioned him earlier, playing safety. This is his first year. His family just moved to the area, and man, what a great move-in he's been for us. We've had so many guys that have showed up, and I know I'm missing some. I'm trying to name them all, but those kids have just really done a great job, and we're going to miss those guys in our program.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Coach, those kids' performance on the field, but their behavior, they are a true OB Pride group of players. They really represented the city and the school very well.
I you don't see this on Friday nights, but our children they're in trouble less in the school. We have when I first got here compared to now, the amount of kids that are in school suspension or getting in trouble on a daily basis has gone down tremendously. The average. The GPA average for our kids is skyrocketed. Our kids are behaving better in the classroom. I have teachers all the time come bragging on our kids and how well they're behaving in the classroom and what a difference that is for them. So there's so much to be proud of for these guys for their high school career. Obviously, we always want to win more games, and we're going to continue to do everything we can to win more football games. But there's so much to be proud of in what they have accomplished in their time at Olive Branch High School.
Okay. Well, listen, folks, we really appreciate y'all tuning in to watch us every week. We appreciate the folks that came and sat in the seats and watched the football game and supported these kids. We've been super glad to bring you the games on Friday night and do these coaches show. So, Coach, see you August, and we'll do this all over again.
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Good night, everybody.